Hello everybody, welcome back to the Miracle Perspective, and this is the TMP Q&A Wednesday where you ask and I perspectivize. We are back with another very important question from Pauline, who says,
vutisa xo i ku endleke yini kumbe vanhu lavo ka va nga choose ti-partner ta right ku humelela kahle kahle ni lava ku twisisa sweswo hi ku loko ni swi vukheli ingaku swilo leswi swi affect-a na hina hi ta ka hala ndzhaku swi affect-a hi ndlela ya ku nga ku loko ni nga ku nga khesi nyana ya ku nga ku na hina swi ta hi kuma nyana so ku a ni ri hi kula ene lava nga kulanyana mahlweni ka hina na vo se va teka vavasati mara va hambana va divorce leswaku munhu xadile wa divorce and then se ni twa nga ku na hina swilo leswi swi ta hi kuma one com hi ku sweswi for example wa vona ku sweswi vanhu va complain hi mijolo this mijolo that mijolo wa kwapa se loko ni swi biko okay swi ri leswi mijolo wu kwapaka na hala ku na divorce swi ri kahle swilo leswi i maketela yin'we swa ku na hina ti-divorce ti ta hi kuma se swi ndla ku twisa xo i ku kahle ku humelele yini ku swi onhake kwini ku ze ku va na divorce ta sona like wa ni twisisa swi onhake kwini ku hi kwila swi nga onhaka hi kwila swi nga onhaka ku swilo swi va so hi ku loko swilo leswi ni swi vukha nga ku na hina swi ta hi cacela swi le ku caceleni nga ku swi ta hi kuma ku na hina loko hi fika vhele ku swa ku so u teka nsati u hetelela kwalaho ka ku mi divorce swi fika hi ndlela ya ku okay loko se mi divorce ku swa ku se mina vana swilo leswi swi affect-a vana ku hambana ka vatswari swi ku affect-a vana va affect-eka hi ndlela yin'wana leyikulu ngopfu se ni lava ku twisisa leswaku okay yini hina leswaku hina generation leyi taka ndzhaku hi nga xi endlaka loko se nkarhi wa koho wu fikile wa ku the way swilo swi nga sweswi divorce ti va ti nga ri kona ka minkarhi liya leyi nga ta va hi teke vavasati hi yona na ku lexin'wana la ku twisa xo i ku ku endleke yini xi nga endleka ku swi tikuma swi ri so i ku kumbe vanhu vo ka va nga choose ti-partner ta right leswi ni lava ku twisisa nyana swo question ya mina.
and that is Pauline, who asked a very important question. What is it that causes us to see a high divorce rate? What causes divorce? Because this thing is affecting children at the end. So what is it that is the problem, and what is it that can be done to prevent the future generations from experiencing the same trend? And we've got people who took up this question and attempted to answer it. The first person was Leash. Leash was like, because kutira mina e mina 50-50, I know my rights, I don't take nonsense, one mistake nafamba kutiva ngopfu naku I have my own money, so mina anishaveleli munhu. What she says is that people have it 50-50, they want to have it my way or we leave this thing. So people have this thing of I have my own money, so I don't need you, so I'm not gonna beg anyone because hey, I'm my own man, I'm my own woman, so I don't need you. Nakulava ngopfu swilo hi nghenelela mshadwini hi mhaka ya peer pressure naku munhu a suka a kuma ingaku i biwe hi nkarhi se a endla ti-mistake by settling for what's available, and kun'wani we settle for safe. Sometimes we rush because of age and you just want to settle down, and you find yourself settled with someone who's just as unbold. And we follow the standards of the world and forget what the Bible says about divorce. Akuna kesi ya nchumu, generation ya masiku lawa yi langa swilo. Hi compare ngopfu na ku endlisiwa hi peer pressure, social media. That's why we even have divorce parties these days. So she says these days we are led by peer pressure, which is social media. We even have things like divorce parties. Imagine. And then she is like, hey, he endliwa na hi leswa ti-relationship goals swa ku followa ti-trends se ni tikuma ni endlisa n'wana wa vanhu swilo swa ku a nga swi lavi or a nga believe ka swona na ku believer hi no I can change him or her or ita cinca a cincela mina. Trying to change each other and believing in social media, following trends, relationship goals, and forcing somebody to do things that they do not necessarily believe in. And that is leash. And we've got the fix. The fix was like, marriage is for two people. Marriage is for marriage is for two people. Should start when they are both ready. Emotionally, psychologically, financially, spiritually, and educationally. It's not an easy thing, but the cause of more divorces these days, number one, old people were trained to persevere even when it hurts. They took a lot of abuse. Thank God they ate healthily. Hence, they lived together. Number two, even then, people divorced, but we didn't know since there were no social media and people were secretive about it as it was seen as the most embarrassing thing. Number three, people divorce because they get to a point where they are tired they're tired to work the marriage alone. Two parties must fight for a healthy relationship. That is the fix. And we've got Uratile, who says, because women have come to a truthful realization that they don't need to endure in marriage and the disrespect it comes with. Women don't need to give in to societal pressures just to compromise their own worth. Hence, I say, until men learn to treat us with respect and dignity, divorce rate will rapidly go up. Tough one there. And Hlanhla was like,
okay, to cut the story short, these days we can pretend that somebody can pretend to you to say I love you just because they want to have sex with you, and women, they can do whatever they can in order to get money. So if they know that you are loaded and you say that you love them, automatically they will fall for that because they know that this guy is going to marry me now. So if I can be married with a guy that has money, it's fine. Therefore, only to find out that the guy is abusive, the guy doesn't love them at all. He just only want to have sex with them. So that is why most people these days, they pretend to get what they need in a relationship than love. So these days, people are not into love. They are into what they gonna benefit in love. You see, so even a guy to ladies, they will be like, "I love you," just to get sex. So that's how it is, man.
we are in it for two different things. That's Hlanhla. Tough one. And then there's a guy who posted something on Twitter, and the fix sent it to me as he was very relevant to today's discussion. And this guy is Solomon Buchi, who says, men are the cause of the high divorce rate. If men were to put the kind of effort women put into making their marriages work, divorce rates would be low and many women will be happy. A woman can't be building marriage with a man who's scattering it. A submissive woman can't build a marriage with an unsubmissive man. An unaccountable woman cannot build marriage with an unaccountable man. And a faithful woman can't build marriage with a community penis. A prayerful woman can't build a marriage with a prayerless man. A woman has to cook, clean, wash, submit, obey, be corrected, pray, fast, and the man's work is to bring money and give orders, cheat and disrespect her. Why won't divorce be rampant when it's not slavery? Men are the cause of high divorce in African countries. Women are tired. Yikes, man. And those are the people that came into the occasion today. And it's a tough topic, man. And I'm not going to claim to know it all. But as always, I just give my perspective, the way I see things. And, it's tough, man. It's really tough. the latest statistics I saw were about 39% of all marriages end up in divorce. It's really tough. Last I think it was 50%. But the statistics as well, they just need to be well corrected and well balanced, because we get different pictures every day. But regardless, the issue of divorce is happening, and the question is why, and what can we do to stop it from happening? I'm going to take it. I wrote a few pointers here. I'm going to take it from this angle. Look, man, what is the purpose of marriage? That's where we should start. Why should people get married? Why shouldn't you just have a partner that you get along with and just live your life and just be happy together instead of getting married? Why should you be confined by this thing called marriage? That's the question. What is the purpose of marriage? Why should people get married? And I think that's where the problem is. We get it all twisted. We don't know what the purpose of marriage is, because there's a lot of reasons why there's marriage, but one of the most fundamental reasons for marriage, and there's a lot of biblical reasons why there's marriage, and I believe in the Bible, and there's a lot of other stuff, but I'm not gonna go deep into the biblical truth. I mean, the biblical truth is that it's not good for a man to be alone. He needs someone to live life with, right? It's companionship. That's the most important reason why people should get married. But the second most important reason is that if you do not get into this marital confinement and just decide to choose the alternative way of just living with a partner without this confinement of marriage, then you live your life irresponsibly, meaning you do not take full responsibility of what you are supposed to do in marriage. This is what marriage is. Marriage is, and this I learned from Jordan Peterson. It's like marriage is a voluntary slavery where two people decide to say, we are entering this thing together and we know that we are slaves to this thing. What that means, it means that regardless of what happens, we are going to stay here. Whether we don't agree with each other, I know you are bad. You are a bad person. You are trouble, a lot of trouble. You have a lot of problems. You have a lot of issues that people don't want to deal with. Same as me. I have problems. I've got my own weaknesses. I have my own struggles and things that people can't tolerate. With that in place, we are going to stick together and we are going to die with each other regardless. And that's why you do it in front of many people, so that you can show them that, hey, we have decided to put ourselves in this cage and we're together in it regardless. You see? So, I mean, these days, it's like you've got divorce is a possible option. I mean, hey, we enter this thing. If it doesn't work, we'll leave. And that's not the idea behind marriage. If you want to live your life like that, with just the freedom to leave whenever you quarrel, then don't get into it. You see, because the rules of the game are that you don't play unless you're all in. That's marriage. If you are going to leave, rather don't go in. That's it. So a lot of people go there with twisted understanding of this. And they're like, all right, we can see that we are not good for each other, but let's just try it out. And I mean, if it doesn't work, you see people go there with this ideology and, hey, what do you expect? Obviously, it's going to end in tears. So that's the first thing that I think needs to be addressed. Number two, I think we get into this whole relationship issue, dating game prematurely when we're still very young without any understanding of what life and what this relationship thing is all about. Here's a question to you. The question is, how old were you when you got into your first relationship? You. Mm-hmm. 18, 10, 11, 12. See there where you are. Did you even know what your name was at that time? That's the question. You see, the problem is that most of us get into this thing prematurely. We enter into this relationship without even knowing our names. We don't even know that we exist, but hey, boom, we're in this person together. We're inciting our emotions. The only thing you think about when you're still young, a teenager, school, love life. School boyfriend, my wife, my husband. At a very young age, you don't even understand what's going on, but you're already entangled. And what happens after that? Your little heart gets broken. Bah! And then you move on to the next one because now you're lonely. You don't know how to live with yourself. You have never discovered yourself. You never had the opportunity to learn who you are. You have no self-identity. Now you want to move on to the next person. Remember, you have an experience with the person that you were planning a future with. Now it broke. You go to another person. Breaks again, another one. Breaks again, another one. Now, question to you again. How many exes do you have? And why is it? I know in your answer is that it was him, he did this, or it was her, she was this, and it's never the case. Why don't you ever consider working on yourself first? Here's the thing, you don't consider that because peer pressure is a lot. And at that time when you're still young, you're still excited by the feels. You think you have this Disney picture of what marriage is. You have this Hollywood understanding of what marriage is, happy ever after. Who said you are going into marriage for happiness? That's why they say in pain and in health, in sickness and in health, most times the idea that we see of marriage is that in happiness, that's the idea we have of marriage. And it's not the case, man. It's not really the goal. Happiness is not the goal that we should try and pursue in marriage. It's not happiness. It's not really about happiness. It's about companionship. It's about being in the game even when it's hot. Being in it even when we frustrate each other. It's about being in it even when you are sick. Sickness and health. When you are sick, for better, for worse, always be together. So you get into this thing prematurely, you're still young, and you get heartbroken, you don't even know yourself. By the time you are 30, you've been experiencing a series of heartbreaks all your life. And you say, now I want to settle down, I want to get married. All right, first of all, who are you? Trying to get married to who? You come there with a series of broken hearts. You are broken, man. Like you have an experience because your first boyfriend painted a picture of your new reality, like a future with you. Our kids are gonna be here. We're gonna stay in Santin. We're gonna stay in Serengeti. We're gonna be doing this, selling you a future. And then that future breaks. You get heartbroken. You go to a next person. They tell you, no, we're actually going to stay in Mpumalanga. So you move from Serengeti to Mpumalanga. When from Mpumalanga you go to a next boyfriend, they break your heart. Now you are moving again from Mpumalanga. You're going to Joburg. Like it's a lot of issues, man. Your life is now twisted. You were living according to the formation of your previous boyfriend. You were being a person that your boyfriend or girlfriend wanted you to be at that time, and it broke. Now you go to another person who tries to make you a different way. So you are just a deformed person when you go into marriage. It's not gonna work, man. You don't know yourself. What you should do is you should first pursue self-identity. Know yourself. Who are you? You should get to a point where if you get into a relationship, well, fine, you'll be working on each other, breaking each other, fixing each other, molding each other, and then it breaks. Be that person who knows how to come back like an elastic band. You're stretching in the relationship. When it breaks, come back to your original position. Maintain your identity so that you don't lose yourself. The thing is, people get into marriage without even understanding who they are. Two people who don't understand who they are, they come into this thing, it's not going to work. Because you don't know how you deal with things personally. You have never had an opportunity to deal with yourself alone. You have never been single. How can you be double when you have never been single? You're not whole, man. You're not whole. You need to work on yourself. People are not there. They can't do that. So lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I think we think marriage is not working because we have this, we've been conditioned also by school and other stuff to try and solve issues from the highest level of abstract, where now you are trying to solve the whole system as a system. It's like saying to a person, you're actually, when someone is not able to cook properly, or maybe they just cooked a bad meal, and then you're like, I've always seen that you are really a bad cook. Meanwhile, they just cooked one meal, which was wrong. So you're trying to classify or trying to solve, to evaluate or analyze the whole system from one activity. That's what we are doing here. We're trying to analyze the whole system of marriage, and we're thinking it's not working because we are trying to analyze it from a small series of encounters and things that are happening. And that's not the way to deal with things. And that's why marriages end up in divorce, most of them, because people just don't know how to problem solve. They solve problems from the highest level of abstract. That's when your wife makes a mistake today, you don't solve it. Tomorrow she makes another one, you don't solve. The other day you don't solve. Up until you get tired, and the day she breaks a glass, you're like, yeah, I've always seen you are a stupid person. You're solving an issue on the highest level of abstract. It doesn't work like that. People need to learn the art of communication, problem solving. If you are able to communicate issues on a personal, and when they're still small, they won't have to get to that level where they are big and now you can't solve the whole thing, because solving things from a systematic way, a big system, is hard. But I don't claim to know it all. As I said, there's a lot of things that cause a high divorce rate, including infertility. Infertility is one of the highest things that cause a lot of divorce. And money in marriages, they cause a lot of divorce. And trying to be independent in this marriage thing is causing a lot of divorce. Also, people are selfish these days. People are selfish. I'm not going to say men or women. You see, I'm also trying to play the devil's advocate here. People are saying man this is not really men. It's people. People are selfish because you get into a relationship, you forget that you have kids. You want to pursue your own happiness. What about the happiness of your kids? Yeah, but you can't stay in this because hey, you should have done this. That's why when you solve things at the lowest level of abstract, you prepare yourself first before you get into marriage, so you don't have to experience those challenges of having to divorce and have problems. I hope you get me. So what we do today, Pauline, as you ask this question, since the new generation now, it's following the same trend, what can we do? What you can do is relax, get a chill pill, drink it, relax, and find yourself, my guy. Understand who you are, understand your purpose, understand your ultimate reason of existence. When you know that you are pursuing meaning in your life, then you will find a suitable partner who will just be with you, man, help you to build your future. Together, you're building each other's future and making life work. Whether it's good or bad, you are gonna always come together as companions and make it work. It's finished.